It's a detail so utterly horrifying. It's difficult to comprehend. Imagine a man's body being dragged underneath a moving car. For more than half a mile, that's a distance of over 800 meters. This wasn't some tragic, unforeseen accident on a dark road. This was a deliberate act of unimaginable cruelty. This was the fate that befell Liam Dent, a 25-year-old father of two whose life was extinguished in the most brutal way imaginable. The sheer barbarity of the act is what sets this case apart, transforming a senseless argument into a crime that shocked the nation and left a community grappling with the reality of such profound violence. Liam Dent was just 25 years old, a young father with his whole life ahead of him. Known to his friends and family as a loving and devoted dad to his two children, he was simply enjoying a night out, something countless people do every weekend across the country. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But more than that, he was an innocent man who crossed paths with someone who had a shocking capacity for violence. His life was not defined by its tragic end, but by the love he had for his family. In stark contrast, Martin Eastwood was a man already known to the authorities for his violent tendencies, particularly his use of vehicles as weapons. At just 22, he had a disturbing criminal history. In September 2018, he had deliberately driven a stolen vehicle at a cyclist, knocking the person to the ground and causing multiple fractures. Eastwood was a serially violent individual, a ticking time bomb whose aggression was escalating with each offense. The night began, as so many do with friends gathering at a local pub in Chessington. The atmosphere was likely relaxed, full of conversation and laughter. At some point, a minor confrontation occurred between his group and the one including Martin Eastwood. It was precisely the kind of insignificant squabble that happens outside pubs every single night across the UK, but for Eastwood, this minor slight was an unforgivable offence that demanded a disproportionate and deadly response. He got behind the wheel of a stolen Ford S-Max. This was a calculated decision. He intended to use the car's power and weight to inflict maximum damage. Without hesitation, he accelerated, aiming the stolen Ford directly at Liam. The impact was brutal and instantaneous. Witnesses reported hearing Liam's screams as the car sped away. Eastwood drove the stolen Ford S-Max to a secluded spot and set it on fire. He hoped to destroy any evidence, but investigators recovered the vehicle's telematics. That device recorded the car's exact route, speed, and driving behavior. It recorded speed at every moment. It recorded the nature of the driving. That digital footprint provided a second-by-second account, proving this was the vehicle used to kill Liam Dent. Physical evidence along the half-mile route painted a grim picture. One of Liam's trainers, a scratched mobile phone case, ripped banknotes and coins, pieces of skin torn from his body, sealed and catalogued as evidence. Prosecutor Michelle Nelson QC said the telematics put beyond dispute that the burnt Ford was the vehicle that hit and dragged Liam Dent. Scene evidence and witness testimony left no room for ambiguity. Eastwood's attempts to hide his crime failed. The trial at the Old Bailey laid bare the cold-hearted cruelty of Martin Eastwood's actions. The jury heard how a trivial pub argument was used as a pretext for a premeditated and vengeful murder. In March 2022, the jury found Martin Eastwood guilty of the murder of Liam Dent. The judge handed Martin Eastwood a life sentence, ordering him to serve a minimum of 30 years. Daniel Morris pleaded guilty to manslaughter. Jasmine Robinson was convicted of assisting an offender. The law holds accountable not only those who commit the crime, but also those who aid them. For the family of Liam Dent, the verdict provided a measure of justice, but it could never fill the void left by his senseless death. Their lives were forever changed by a single night of pointless violence. The Liam Dent case serves as a powerful and tragic lesson for society. It underscores the importance of holding individuals accountable and the need to walk away from conflict, cherish life, walk away from conflict, and stand against the senseless violence that stole a young father from his children.